Hi Glam fam, welcome back. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. So let's dive in. I'm using the Omri Code moisturizer right here. This moisturizer, it's a gel moisturizer. I love the way it feels on my skin. It's not greasy. A gel moisturizer is actually prescribed for oily skin type. Try this moisturizer out. It would definitely hydrate your skin without leaving it greasy. So right here I'm using the moisturizer from Omri Code. It's a gel moisturizer. I love this moisturizer so much. When you're moisturizing, make sure to moisturize under the eye. Make sure to always moisturize under the eye. And moisturize in the direction of your hairline. So right here I'm using the MZBEE Sun Shield in SPF 50. SPF means sun protection factor. So I'm using the MZBEE sunscreen. So far so good. Using this sunscreen, I've not had any issues whatsoever, and I hardly experience a white cast, even though it's a natural sunscreen. I haven't experienced any irritation. The only side I experience irritation is this corner of my nose, and after a while it goes, like within few seconds it leaves immediately. So make sure to always use a sunscreen. Even if you're not applying makeup, make sure to use a sunscreen. And even if you're not going out at all, still make sure to use a sunscreen. Okay, so right here I'm using the MZBEE Hydro Grip Primer in the matte edition. It has both the matte and the hydrating type, but yeah, I'm using the matte mattifying primer. So right here I'm using the Aqua Grip Matte Primer. This primer, so I heard you do not use your hand to blend it into your skin. You do not use brush, you use a beauty blender. So let us see how beauty blender actually works on it. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, you can see that it's really sank into my skin and it doesn't feel sticky. Or I remember when I used to use my hand to blend it out into my skin. Oh, I didn't always like the outcome, so I think it's true, using beauty blender works for it. So before I go into my foundation, I always like to glue down my brows, and right here I'm using the Got2b glue gel because it's really strong and it holds down the brow so well. If you don't do this before the foundation process, because I like to do my skin work process first, it's actually going to make the foundation around the brow area look messy. So this would have actually prepped your brow down, glued it down very well before you actually do your brow after the whole foundation process. This really makes it very easy. Try this out and thank me later. Now onto foundation. I'm using the Newborn Beauty In My Skin foundation. I can't remember the shade, sorry guys. I'm using this foundation brush from Younger Beauty to blend it out. Typically I use a beauty sponge, but today I'm just having the inspiration of using a foundation brush to blend it out. It's been a while I used the foundation brush to blend out my foundation. So let's see the outcome of using a foundation brush to blend. And mind you, this foundation from Newborn Beauty, it is mostly advisable for dry skin. If you have oily skin, probably if you're going to mix it with a matte foundation, no problem, but it's mostly advised for oily skin, and it oxidizes. Yes, it oxidizes. It really oxidizes. I typically don't put foundation directly under my eye, and I avoid too much foundation on my nose. Even though I've put foundation, but I try to avoid too much foundation on my nose because I sweat a lot on my nose. So I just blend out the excess of my brush on my nose area, my nose bridge. That's what I do. So far so good. I think there is no ash line whatsoever. I'm not seeing any ash lines, so I think we are good with this foundation brush. Okay, it's doing a good job. So far so good. So here I'm using the Black Opal foundation stick in ebony brown. So I contour my cheekbone, I contour my forehead, and I also like to contour my jawline, and then I contour my lip, and then the side of my nose. Contouring brings definition to the face, while bronzing actually brings warmth to the skin. I'm using the Nuban Beauty Concealer here. You conceal those areas of your face where you want to bring forward, those areas that light would naturally hit, such as the bridge of your nose, under your eye, your forehead, your chin area. Those are the areas you conceal. So right now I'm going to set it with my powder, my Nuban Beauty Mineralized powder, before I go into bake with the setting powder. So before you powder your concealer, you have to blend it in very well. Make sure it is well blended in. If not, it is whatever you set into it that you would get. So I'm setting it right now with my Nuban Beauty Mineralized powder. Not too much, just a little bit to set it in there before I go in with my setting powder. Set the nose area as well. So using the Beauty by AD loose powder, you dust off and you use it to set those areas of your face where you concealed, those areas that you used the compact powder to set. You then bake those areas. So now you go into your brows, you do your brows. Can you see why it's actually good to actually glue your brow down before you start your skin work? It actually helps you to quickly define your brows because it gives it shape. Using little to no concealer, you conceal to further define your brow shape. So here's the final look, guys. A detailed tutorial on how to achieve this beautiful eye look on hooded eyes is coming up. Don't worry. So make sure to subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you can be on alert, and send in your nice comments, like, share. See you in the next video. Bye.